Very good afternoon to you all. Thank you for joining us for the weekly news roundup edition of the UBC Lunchtime News. My name is Wadulo Arnold Mark. It's going to be an hours-long bulletin, and this is the bulletin that brings you those stories that made headlines within the week. So do sit tight. Let's give you the details. In our first story, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni was on Saturday nominated for the position of NRM chairperson and as the party's presidential flag bearer ahead of the 2025-2026 general elections. These were the highlights.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni's nomination journey began with a procession from Nakasero Primary School after emerging from State Lodge, Nakasero. He joined enthusiastic supporters, notably border riders clad in yellow, who escorted him to the Electoral Commission offices at Plot 13, Chadondo Road.
It has taken President Museveni about 5 minutes to arrive here at NRM Electoral Commission offices, and he has just been escorted by his supporters, mainly the border guys who were clad in yellow.
As thousands of supporters lined en route, another crowd had already gathered at the EC offices to welcome him. He arrived in an open-roof presidential vehicle accompanied by First Lady Janet Museveni. Upon arriving at the NRM EC offices, Museveni proceeded for nomination, overseen by Electoral Commission Chairperson Dr. Tanga Odoi, alongside the NRM Secretary General Richard Todong and other commissioners. Museveni was nominated for two positions, first as NRM National Chairman and later as the party's presidential flag bearer for the 2025-2026 elections.
On behalf of the NRM Electoral Commission, I, Dr. Tagodo, from KIS, and Chairman NRM Electoral Commission, now here, nominate His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to.
For the chairmanship, he was nominated by NRM First National Vice Chairperson Alhaj Moses Chigongo, citing his steadfast leadership.
Have our chairman, who has taken us through so many difficult things, but he has kept the movement together, and we are still together, and we cannot let him down.
He was seconded by Haj Shafiq Mwanje from Bukoman Simpi District and Mastula Namatovu from Kamuli District.
Your Excellency, the women of Uganda are so much in love with you. As the women of Uganda, Your Excellency, we are delighted for the programs, the empowerment that you have done to us, economically, socially.
For flag bearer, Museveni was nominated by Minister Tom Butime from Chanjonjo District, citing his good health and experience.
He has kept this country secure and safe.
He was seconded by Smith Mbabazi from Ntungamo District and Asianju Mariam Faith from Ajuman District, who credited him for peace, security, infrastructure, youth and women empowerment.
As youth, we are rallying behind President Museveni to run for presidency. because of his unmatched experience in leadership. Yes, he has steered the country into socio-economic transformation. We have seen the youth inclusion and empowerment. We have seen the youth benefiting from the government programs like PDM. For example, 30% of the PDM money at all the parishes across the country is meant for the youth. So this is enough to show that as youth, we are also being thought about.
Museveni was declared unopposed after the other contenders failed to meet nomination requirements.
The second person who came could not even give us a copy of his bank slip for us to peruse to find out whether it was authentic. He said he had paid 20 million, but by the look of things, the document he wanted to give us was not genuine.
Addressing party members, Museveni urged the NRM fraternity to support his candidature, saying he had united a once fragmented Uganda and laid the foundation for strong institutions and governance.
The fragmentation also could not allow institutions to be built up. So the fragmentation made governance impossible because you couldn't get a majority. If you say Baganda are not even 17% of the population of Uganda. So how will you get a majority? If you say Banyankore, if you say you will not get far. If you say religion, Catholics, Protestants, none of them can even be 40%. So that's what happened. Fragmentation meant impossibility for governance. This is the point I'm raising here.
He highlighted Uganda's economic transformation from dependency on the 3 C's, namely coffee, copper, and cotton, and the 3 T's, tobacco, tea, and tourism, to now over 50 exportable products.
Most of these years, the NRM has been participants in, and for most of the time, leaders of the efforts to liberate Uganda from sectarian fragmentation and political collapse, ensure its economic recovery, ensure the growth and expansion of its economy, ensure that the start of socio-economic transformation of society starts so that Uganda becomes a modern country and starts the struggle for the economic and political integration of Uganda into Africa so that the wealth creators of Africa have a reliable market.
Museveni outlined 6 key areas for his next term: consolidating peace, expanding infrastructure like roads and electricity, promoting wealth creation at family level, creating jobs through agriculture, hospitality and industry, enhancing service delivery in health and education, and securing markets for Ugandan products. He also cited his ambition to raise Uganda's GDP to 500 billion per capita as another reason for his contesting.
The second reason for the NRM putting forward my name is to cause the qualitative leap of Uganda into a high upper middle income country in the next few years, preferably far ahead of 2040, which is 15 years from now. This is the second reason. To qualitative leap. There is quantitative. A baby, when a baby is born, things in life must undergo qualitative jump. Pregnancy.
The NRM fraternity hailed President Museveni for accepting the mantle to continue leading both the party and the country. The nomination ceremony was attended by thousands, including former Prime Ministers Amama Mbabazi and Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda. Former Vice President Edward Kiwanuka II, Speaker of Parliament, Prime Minister and other top government officials. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Kampala.
UBC Weekly News Roundup. President of Rwanda, Major General Paul Kagame, this week welcomed the peace and trade agreement brokered by the Trump administration to address the conflict in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, describing it as a rare moment of international attention and a crisis often overlooked. The President Paul Kagame was dialoguing with some journalists on Liberation Day in Kigali and noted that the agreement, which brought together the regional actors and international partners, will tackle key elements that have long fueled instability within the region. Our reporter Samuel Senano had a chance to interact.
The peace and trade agreement brokered by the Trump administration to address the conflict in eastern DRC, signed on June 27th in Washington, D.C., was mediated by the United States with support from Qatar. It brings together Rwanda, the DRC, and key international players in a framework that merges troop withdrawals, security guarantees, and economic cooperation.
And so here, it's our job, it's our task for us in the region to implement that, or DRC or Rwanda to implement their part of the bargain in the agreement. But of course, it helps if United States administration remains close by to follow up and says to people, well, you said you would do this, what happened?
During the media engagement marking Rwanda's 31st Liberation Day, President Kagame praised the agreement's three pillars of political, security, and economics, saying they stand in sharp contrast to previous approaches.
First of all, I thank them that they even paid attention to the problem at all. They could have ignored that problem like many have. We reached an agreement in Washington, D.C., but it is not up to Washington to implement it. It's those who reached the agreement there to actually be the ones to implement what they agreed. And we have also seen in the whole history of this matter that people really don't necessarily do things according to what they agreed they are going to do.
He criticized earlier interventions as short-term fixes, noting that decades of UN peacekeeping missions and sanctions have failed to bring stability or improve lives in the affected areas.
In fact, it is the same people also who failed in those years that, and now because we talked to many of them, it's like, yeah, but what do you think about this Trump thing? You know, yeah, you know, we see, but, and it's like they don't even hide the fact that they are disappointed because they are not at the center of it.
Implementation of the deal, including troop withdrawals, disarmament of armed groups, and transparent economic investment, is set to begin within weeks, with additional talks already planned in Qatar.
And furthermore, from this week, joint campaigns for Bukonzo West County officially kicked off this week, and the first rally was held at Kithoma Chansi Town Council. Godfrey Kabyanga arrived on time, but his opponents were a no-show. These were the highlights.
The Minister of State for National Guidance and Bukonzo West MP candidate Godfrey Kabyanga has held his first joint campaign rally at Chitroma Trading Center in Chitroma Kanyasi Town Council, drawing hundreds of residents. Despite the campaign being scheduled as a joint event, Kabyanga was the only candidate who turned up.
So it doesn't subtract anything and it doesn't add anything. I think if that's what he chose, that's his own opinion. because the new guidelines which Honorable Tango Doi released even excused ministers not to attend joint rallies. But me, I feel I should come and attend joint rallies with my colleagues so that there is nobody who is going to peddle lies and mudsling other people.
While seeking support from voters, Kabyanga revealed that he had consulted the president about the need for a second hospital in Kasese, citing the district's growing population. He affirmed that Rukoki Community Hospital is open to the public and pledged to advocate for the elevation of Bwera Hospital to referral status.
Because people travel long distances to Buhinga or Mbarara when they get referrals. And the population here is so huge in this district. And you should also know that Bwera is also serving DR Congo, Eastern Congo. So it's a hospital really which should be upgraded.
He also addressed stalled road construction projects, attributing delays to the rationalization of UNRWA, but reassured the residents that work would resume.
So I think now it's complete maintenance of those roads will begin. But you should also know that government is already tarmacking some of them. You have seen Kayanja Road. It is also a central government road, it's a rural road, but it's being tarmacked.
Addressing concerns over the parish development model funds, Kabyanga gave a detailed explanation of how citizens could benefit from government programs aimed at eradicating poverty. Kabyanga urged the people to diversify their income sources beyond the 4-acre model by venturing into fruit farming, describing it as a lucrative business opportunity.
But me, my focus is hash avocado. Because I've been a farmer of mangoes, I know how the yields are and the profits. And then I'm also a farmer of hash avocado. But I think hash avocado is more profitable. But I'm also focusing on the back house activities.
Godfrey Kabyanga Chime Baluko is facing off against Dr. Crispus Chionga in the race for Bukonzo West Member of Parliament.
And as the National Resistance Movement Party candidates continue to vie for various political positions across the country, residents of Shema District also voiced their expectations regarding the kind of leaders that they want. The locals say that this time around they are committed to voting leaders who will collaborate with the National Resistance Movement to deliver essential services such as electricity, healthcare and education, among others.
The National Resistance Movement Party youth leader in Shema District, Benson Bainomugisha, has commended government for extending services including health centers, roads and schools to various parts of the district. However, he acknowledged that several areas still face service delivery gaps. Bainomugisha made the remarks during a campaign rally held at Masheruka Town Council offices in support of Katusime Mwebesa, who is contesting for the Woman Member of Parliament seat for Shema District.
Education, so we need more schools and good ones. We need more roads, the good ones, more especially like from Kabgohe to Nyakambu, that road is not tarmac. We need that road to be tarmac. So we need hospitals. We thank government, at least in Shema we have 2 hospitals, Kabgohe and Chitagata.
Michael Kush, a youth from Chabandara in Shema, called on voters to elect NRM-aligned leaders capable of lobbying for more government programs, especially those aimed at youth and women empowerment through skilling.
Most of the youth have no jobs, that's number 1. 2, most of the women are married, they have skills, but they don't have people who can push them and go and make some money. And we have some men in villages who also have skills, but they don't have the power, they don't have the courage, they don't have the money to start up some small project that can push them to another level.
Katusime Mwebesa pledged to work closely with President Yoweri Museveni to ensure that skills development initiatives are implemented at the parish level as a strategy to combat poverty. The race for the Shema Woman Member of Parliament seat has attracted 6 contenders: Katusime Adrien Mwebesa, the incumbent, Honourable Rosemary Nyachikongoro, Helen Kabami, Shafra Natukunda, Chohire Generous, and Agaba Fiona.
The Minister of State for Kampala, Honorable Kabuye Chofatogabye, has also raised concern over declining support of the ruling party, the National Resistance Movement, attributing it to weak mobilization strategies. While addressing residents in Nakaseke district, the minister also emphasized the need to prioritize youth involvement in political leadership. These were the highlights.
State Minister for Kampala Kabicho Fatogabye remains optimistic about the NRM's resurgence in the upcoming general elections. However, he openly acknowledged the growing disconnect between the party and its grassroots, blaming poor mobilization efforts. The minister called for increased youth participation in elective politics, stressing that the next term should focus on empowering young leaders and driving social transformation through inclusive governance.
Thanking God, but at the same time appreciating His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for having accepted to carry on another mantle for 2021-26 serving this nation. The people of this community were so excited when they saw His Excellency picking nominations and returning papers, and then offering himself as a sacrificial lamb to serve this country for the next 5 years.
Nakaseke Resident District Commissioner Rosemary Abaseija commended Minister Chofa for championing development projects in the district. She noted that the government had injected significant funding across multiple sectors.
They made a stride because NRM government has elected a lot of money in schools. For example, we have more than 5 seed secondary schools. We have other secondary schools, about 4, because I've been involved in the commissioning and launching. And in these seed secondary schools, they are all in billions.
Abaseija also urged residents to vote wisely and uphold peace during the electoral season, warning that security forces would not tolerate any form of hooliganism.
Appealing to these people to vote wisely, but also to have discipline. It's not good to fight physically. His Excellency the President, they fought those wars when they were in the bush. Today, the fight is that through ballot papers. So there's no need of fighting with a poster. You find someone's poster there, you tear it down. You find somebody, you fight him. You find somebody has convened a meeting of his supporters, then you come and disrupt them. That one, we should have clean politics. Actually, as security, we shall not entertain hooliganism.
As political temperatures begin to rise ahead of the next polls, both leaders emphasized unity, youth engagement, and peaceful democratic process.
Forward our thanks to him because he have accepted and offered himself to contest. Because we have been worried if the president can decide to step down without organizing our country and also to organize for the future leaders.
Mike Bakablindi for UBC.
The Chancellor of Kampala Archdiocese, Reverend Father Dr. Pius Male Sentumbwe, has hailed the contribution of the Brothers of Christians Instruction, Kisubi, towards the formal and spiritual education sector of the Catholic Church and the country at large. Let's have a look at the details.
A great day to see that at least we think about the Uganda matters and see that you, the young ones, led young girls and boys to take the imitation of the Uganda matters, what they did. They gave in their life because of what? Their faith. They were being instructed just for years to the extent of accepting to die. Wherever you pass here in Kampala or in Uganda, in all ministries, you will find somebody being taught by the brothers of Christian instruction. Thank you for the good work.
Now that you are doing what you can do, I want to urge you or to ask you to do what you can do better. And it would be very good for you to do what you can do best. The East of Uganda Matters, who are our patron saints. We are also guided by the theme the chancellor used. Oh Lord, let me see again. I, your pilgrim of hope. We are the school, we are on the road to pilgrimage of faith like the Uganda Matters, and with hope, we are seeking God's help to see. Got a good number of students from senior 1 who are gifted in music, dance, and drama, and also in sports. And what we do here is to develop that talent.
The Indian Association of Uganda and Mandela Group of Companies are in a sensitization campaign of work awakening to professionals. In a training held at Lohana Academy, emphasis was made to self-drive realization of one's career and purpose in life. Let's take a look.
We partnered with our colleagues from the Yugasewa community, and we as Mandela Group, as our theme has been since the start of this year, is growing better together, growing with the community that we serve. And this is one of those several sessions that we've conducted since this year began. Basically today it has been more of personal and professional growth. You know, we operate in a community where we serve different people, and we need to check on mindsets, okay? Whenever we grow the mindsets, then we shall have a better community altogether. So today our colleagues from Yugasewa invited us, and you've had a very wonderful facilitation from our CEO. It has been mainly on that personal growth, that inner growth that we basically sometimes don't realize. Basically these sessions are more of empowering, you know. Sometimes we all have that inner strength that we hide out, okay? But once we come out and someone tells you about the inner strength, you now start checking yourself, okay?
Right now, many people having a lot of losses in the business due to taxation and other factors affecting businesses in the country. So we wanted to use some successful person like Mr. CEO Venkatesh Kumar. When he entered into the city tire, the growth is high. So we wanted to get experience from those such type of people to address the public. We wanted to extend these into even many centers in Uganda. We wanted to educate what is business, and also we wanted to do a lot of charities.
We are reaching our 30th year. We established it in 1996. The people came from one district in India. Our main motto is service to the humanity. We are focusing on educational assistance, then medical help, then helping to the orphanages in Uganda, everywhere. We are focusing only on charities and this kind of self-development programs. We are not entering to the another cultural events or musical programs or entertainments. We are focusing on only charity and self-development programs like this. We want to give some good mindset for the young generation for the upcoming years. We have a lot of programs in our calendar. It's going to come to Uganda, and Ugandan students and young people, they want to get it, and they are coming up to in their lives.
Pineapple farmers in Kayunga are urging government to support them with fertilizers and to boost their farm yields. The farmers who have resorted to using coffee husks as fertilizer believe that government can lend them a hand, and they make this call to action, making it inevitable.
I'm here by
showing people that being an army officer, I can do other projects. Like I'm a farmer, just preparing for my retirement. I have 8 acres of pineapples, and I've started even harvesting. But we have some challenges, mostly fertilizers. We are using coffee husks, whereby coffee is very expensive. A lorry of 5 tons is at 1 million. Those are some challenges I'm getting. We have to apply that coffee husks as fertilizers so that you can get good yield of pineapples. I do appeal to other officers also to be productive. Like as I'm doing, I'm trying to prepare for my retirement. Anytime I come back in the village, I can have where I can start from. So all soldiers of UPDF, they can do such production so that they can uplift their welfare. Me, I got a loan from our circle, Wazalendo. I got 7 million. I bought this land, and now I'm getting my money through these pineapples.
The government of Uganda continues with infrastructure development, mainly on roads within rural areas. Now, this is aligned with a new budget to allow easy transport in developing areas. In Kangurumira, locals continue to request through the Ministry of Works to have roads worked on. We have a detailed report.
Main hall, we need office space because you see our officers are congested in different places. There are classes that are not enough, like the senior 1 class is too big, the senior 2 class is too big, so we need additional infrastructure. We don't have a sick bay. There are many infrastructure needs that we have as a school. Those other first-class schools have parents that can even contribute to infrastructure development other than Kangurumira Public School. So if government would prioritize some of these community-based schools in terms of infrastructure support, I mean it can play a key role in steering and accelerating learning. Parents have expressed concern and need for them to secure a means of transport for their children because this school is involved in a number of activities that require transport. And so being that we don't have a means of transport yet, they said it is necessary for them to acquire a bus.
Very good proposal, because as we students have been finding it difficult in traveling to many distances. For instance, we have MDD teams, scouts, football, yet we have a very small cost of hours. We used to travel in shifts which delayed our journeys. So it is a very good proposal, and I have loved it so much. And I pray that this year it comes, not even this year, but this time.
I call upon all parents to abide with this suggestion which we have discussed in this meeting of general meeting.
In this AGM, the parents have been expressing need to have a bus in the school. And such an asset is an expensive venture. We could not just go into it unless we have made several consultations. And today in this AGM, we have discussed it fully, and we know if we go by our words, the parents will have to get bus here.
A number of women leaders from Uganda's political, business, finance, and creative and entrepreneurial sectors have convened to champion inclusive, purpose-driven spaces where women can thrive. Top on the agenda was the importance of creating an enabling and thriving environment for women across all sectors. Let's take a look.
A remarkable collective of women leaders across Uganda's political, business, finance, creative and entrepreneurial sectors have called for the promotion of an environment that supports women's growth and leadership.
We have running battles with the government, but the government is very supportive.
The chairperson of the Board of Directors at Petroleum Authority of Uganda, Linda Biribonwa, has shared her inspiring journey from her early days at NEMA to her current role, emphasizing the value of inclusive spaces for women's advancement.
In terms of intergenerational mentorship, personally, I have been a witness and I have experienced, I have walked the journey. I think it's a space that every woman, if given the chance, should actually get, grab with both hands. And why do I say that? Mentorship is a two-way street. Even as we mentor, we are also being mentored. We learn from each other. I have been mentored by a number of people. I'm not going to start mentioning the names here, but I currently also am affiliated with a group of ladies. It's called Girls for Girls.
The gathering, dubbed She Walks, began as a bold initiative to spotlight women making purposeful strides. According to Uganda Breweries Limited Managing Director Andrew Kilonzo, it has since evolved into a powerful movement.
It's very simple. Over the many years, Johnny Walker has started from very humble origins and rose to become the #1 Scotch in the world. How are we celebrating the diversity in our communities? And in this case, there's a specific platform here, the She Walks platform, that is including
Kampala Capital City Authority is stepping up efforts to curb the deadly rise in border-related accidents by investing in more pedestrian crossings and walkways. Let's take a look at the details.
The Kampala Capital City Authority, KCCA, has unveiled plans to construct new pedestrian infrastructure across the city to enhance safety and accessibility. Benoni Moses Kigenyi, KCCA Deputy Executive Director, announced the move during the launch of a 21-kilometer road safety walk and awareness initiative to reduce border accidents.
We'll have dedicated places where people will ride, not on the pavements. Pavements will be for walking. And our new tagline, Tokola Era, will also be extended to our friends using the borders to make sure they do not walk onto the pavement, they do not get into the walkways, so that everybody is safe.
The campaign, spearheaded by Joe Walker Foundation, unites KCCA, Uganda Police, journalists, and other stakeholders to combat one of the city's most pressing issues.
Every work we do, we generate reports, and these reports are shared with the policymakers, they are shared with the administrators, they are shared with the enforcers. Some of them, the proposals have been adopted, some of them have influenced the thinking, and so what we are doing is we engage, educate, sensitize, and also generate reports which come to the policy and enforcement side.
Even as we take the walk, in all the areas that we'll be walking around, we'll be also speaking to some of the people in the communities and also trying to create awareness to ensure that people understand that it's not just about the borders, but it's also the other road users who need to take responsibility for this cause. So
recent police statistics reveal that nearly half of the road accidents in Kampala are linked to borders, which, while convenient, have become a major cause of injuries and fatalities. Kampala Metropolitan Police Commander Richard Yesega and Traffic Police spokesperson Michael Kananura urged border riders and users to observe speed limits and adhere to traffic rules.
Every other time you are moving, put in your mind that you rather lose a minute in your life, but not to lose life in a minute. Thank you very much.
For example, where a passenger is seated on a motorcycle and they get to the traffic lights where they are red and they are not supposed to move, and then you find a passenger telling the rider that, please, I am in a rush, can you move? Why are you stopping? After all, others are violating. No. We are saying this is everyone's responsibility.
These road safety campaigns align with the United Nations global target to reduce road accident fatalities by 2030. Robert Katamba reporting for UBC News.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo. Dial *165 *80 hash. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You are now entered the draw to win school fees for your child for a whole year.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
You brothers on your roller. Bobby, again! What's the drama?
Drama? Colleagues, elections for special interest groups are calling. SITs, elections, youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time to vote for our leaders, June through August. From village to parish to district to nationals, youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time, go vote your leaders.
No!
F-O-B! Elections are supposed to be peaceful. Easy vote, okay?
Youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the special interest group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
From the day your child is born, you want to protect them. You want to protect them from the harm you know and the things your eyes can see. Protect them from falls when they are playing and as they are learning the world. But what protects them from the things your eyes can't see? Diseases attacking their bodies. Immunization from as early as birth, 6 weeks, 10, 14 weeks, to 9 and 18 months. And malaria starting at 6, 7, 8 to 18 months. Protects children from diseases, giving them the foundation they need to grow stronger and healthier.
Parents and caregivers, remember to immunize your children 9 times from birth to 18 months to protect them against vaccine-preventable diseases such as measles, rubella, polio, pneumonia, hepatitis B, tuberculosis, tetanus, meningitis, yellow fever, diarrhea, whooping cough, diphtheria, and malaria. All vaccines used for immunization are safe, effective, and free. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF, WHO, and partners.
1, 2, Timana! Zika.
Hey, tetuja kweta twepuke. Muchi. Mr. Boss.
I am so excited to be here in Kobalo, Arua. We've gotten our second winner from this place. All he had to do was to download the caller tune. He's a young gentleman. Convincing him that he's the actual winner was actually not easy.
I never believed in calls that could come to me anyhow because I was always a lot of scammers. But later when I confirmed, it was true. And I'm really happy I have received my bag.
All you have to do is dial *170 *12# and download the caller tune. Digida with MTN caller tunes. Owangule.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels, and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukota Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
It's a FlexiPay cashback explosion. Shop and pay with your FlexiPay. Cashback instant. It's a FlexiPay cashback explosion.
It's a FlexiPay cashback explosion. Simply shop and pay with your FlexiPay at activating outlets and enjoy instant cashbacks. Terms and conditions apply. Stanbic Bank is regulated by the Bank of Uganda, and customer deposits are protected by the Deposit Protection Fund up to 10 million Uganda shillings.
Thank you for joining us once again. Uganda Golf Club together with NCBA Bank have launched their child-parent golf tournament that is aimed to encourage parents and guardians to support young golfers and increase their uptake of the sport among the young. The launch happened yesterday at the Uganda Golf Course Club, and so 40 parents and guardians pair up with their children to play rounds of golf on the course to compete for the pride of fun.
The parent and child competition basically has you as a parent, so it could be an auntie, an uncle, or somebody in the family and so on, who then partners with the child and they go out and compete with other similar families. That's the simple concept around it. That being said, we have 14 different categories that they compete under, because they compete under the junior categories, which means they compete under the kids category. To grow the sport, you need to bring the young ones up. To bring the young ones up, you need the clubs to be aware of this. Golf is one of those sports where, as a grandson who is 6 years old or 7 years old, you can play with your grandfather who is 96, okay? So that in itself helps bond the families together, which is a huge aspect. So you see a lot of aunties and uncles who are here today, some of whom don't play the sport. So they get an opportunity to be on the golf course for the first time for some of them.
It was good. It feels good to play. It was a new course for me because, we had to play from a different tee. I think he was really excited, and I think this will be a good thing for him. He's now more motivated.
It was very exciting for the first time to play with my grandma because she was a very nice grandmother and she inspired me to become a better golfer.
NCBA is passionate about golf, and we are privileged to partner with the US kids in this golf tournament. We take pride in developing young golfers to see to it that they get to love the game of golf, and then see how they then progress with golf as a career, even aside their studies.
The King's Baton relay that launches the Commonwealth Games was delivered to Kapchora district, where Moses Kipsiro, Joshua Cheptegei and Jacob Kiplimo and others hail from. Commonwealth cross-country champion Victor Kiplangat was presented with the baton along with runners to athletics coach Benjamin Ninja. Omumuli ran with it along the other runners around Kapchora before it was taken to Sebei College, known for training famous runners. Moses Kipsiro and Stephen Kiprotich were some of the students were given the opportunity to touch it. The baton is on a Uganda journey ahead of the Commonwealth Games at Glasgow 2026.
Today, as you saw, that we have received the King's Baton, and the athletes are really much more energized, and they are really motivated, and I've seen light that the Commonwealth Games are getting soon. And of course, through the trainings that we have been having this morning, and when they receive the baton, so many athletes are motivated and willing to qualify. And I know that has been a very big motivation. And I want to thank the Commonwealth organization and the Glasgow organizing committee. That thank you so much for having this idea of sending the baton. And it is one of those tools that it's a sign of motivation to our athletes to have hope that we can also make it to the Commonwealth Games. So.
And also the Uganda Olympics Committee yesterday hosted the introduction of its commissions that will serve for the committee for the next year's championing Olympicism in Ugandan sport. The event held at the committee headquarters in Lugogo brought together the UOC executive board members, commissions chairpersons and members to outline key objectives and strategies for the upcoming period.
Don't have events, but still we have to meet, like the quarterly report and the other activities. So, please, you have come on this thing, you will learn. Some of you may...
Very first meeting with all the commissions of the Uganda Olympic Committee and Commonwealth Games Association. It's also been used as an inauguration or induction of sorts. We had to re-emphasize their terms of reference and remind them about what everybody is supposed to do. We have about 14 commissions, very important. Commissions are an extension of the executive and they all do different works. We reminded them about the importance of ensuring that we fulfill our mandate. We focus on aligning with the constitution of Uganda Olympic Committee, but also realigning with our strategic plan. We also reminded them about the funding opportunities available from Olympic Solidarity, from the Uganda Olympic Committee and other sources. And then we also dived into a bit of details about finances and how, services should be procured, accountability. Basically, we've been emphasizing leadership, its importance, which is very crucial as a driver for the success of the commissions.
And that brings us to the end of our weekly roundup edition of the UBC News Tonight. Thank you for being a lovely audience. My name is Wadulo Arnold Mark. Do catch us later on for more news in our subsequent bulletins. Have yourselves a lovely Sunday afternoon.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official